staring. Got me wearing strange stuff. You think I'm loco? It's just a poncho. Heads are turning one by one. What have you done? Mato waka. Got me yearning. A bonfire trance got me drumming. Sun is rising. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in.
I can bring you in mind. I like the way you do it. Love is the only true remedy. I open up to it and I receive it. I am me. I am everything. Skimming lines.
It's my call. Pocahontas, you think I'm loco? You think I'm crazy? Mato waka. Pocahontas, heads are turning one by one. What have you done? Mato waka. Pocahontas, purple goddess, got me wearing crystals. You think I'm loco? Maybe un poco. Heads are burning one by one. This is fun. Abracadabra, inside my chakra. Sit down for a while, meditate, you fly high. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice in. Shut the mice. Heads are burning one by one. This is fun.
Polka got mad flow. My rhythm tight, so I stretch like the trees grow.
What?
It's a Mato Waka fire show.
We let it burn. If you would trigger, then you must.
Hello and welcome back for Game 3 today of Statewide Stampede Round 2, hosted by the Witches of Eastvic. Thank you for sticking around. Our next game here on Jar Jar Warren Country will be between the Diamond Valley Firetails and the mashup group of Northeast and Westside, which I've fondly referred to as the Newsies.
I would love it if they were the Newsies. They are actually breaking news.
Breaking news officially.
I mean, that does give the drama, whereas Newsies gives the musical talent.
It does, it does. They have both, I'm sure.
Exactly. So going through the rosters, we have in the white breaking news with 09 Tenacious G, 102 Hellcat, 162 Nuclear Force Out, 20 Kitty Kaboom, 212 Intensive Clay Unit, 22 Crash Register, 3 Nels Bells, 45 Jack Rabbit, 501 Darth Evader, 517 Liza Nelly, 78 Vivian Oblivion, 81 Detention, 95 Pleasant Power, and 96 Raw Power.
And then up today for the Firetails in blue, we will have 1, 2, 3, 4 Disgrace, 155 Power Ranger, 16 Furious D, 160 Little Fury, 18 Cruncheva, 333 Bang, 351 Machine, 9999 Squeals, 2222 Gzilla, 8888 Smackaron, 5555 Mad Splatter, and 19 Swoop.
Now, you pointed out to me earlier, Mad Splatter, this is how many games in a row for them?
This is 3 in a row. So I had the pleasure of, facing Mad Splatter when they were playing for TRV this morning. They've also just finished playing for Ballarat, and now they're here helping out Diamond Valley, which is just a mammoth effort.
Well, we've got a couple of moments. Let's go through the officials. So we have Sophie Opath, Sparky, Leo Slayer, Evil Offspring, Scare Bear, Swoop, Cross Stitcher, OG, Zap, and Muggles.
As well as our officials, we have Zarantula, Corey, KTKO, Misdemeanor, Beck, Beremy, and Donkey Kong. A big thank you always to our officials. They volunteer their time to keep our game running legally and running safe. Could not do it without them.
And the other group that I do need to give a big shout out to is Deadly Sports Plus, our first aiders who are just incredible, keeping us safe, making sure that if there is any slight injuries, they're attended to as quickly as possible, and making sure that people are able to return to track.
Absolutely, and they've been doing such a great job with roller derby for so long, and to have an Indigenous-led corporation like Deadly Sports Plus be able to come to across the state every time we play roller derby is really special to us. So big thank you, Deadly Sports Plus.
So we are just waiting for everything in regards to the officials getting into position, the teams being ready and whatnot. We did have it showing as a shorter period before the games were playing to try and catch up a little bit of time since there were so many stoppages in the last one. So we are just waiting to make sure that everything is double checked and crossed off before it gets underway.
Indeed. But just before we really get started with the action, we've been told by a little birdie and had it verified. We have a couple of birthdays today on the Diamond Firetails. So a big, big happy birthday to Little Fury and Disgrace, sharing a birthday, spending it at Derby. Happy birthday to you both. What a way to spend it.
And another little bit of got a tidbit associated with the Diamond Firetails is Mr. Griff, who is also celebrating their birthday, who is currently sitting on the side wearing Griff one of their benchies jackets.
Nice. Triple birthday on Diamond Valley. That's a pretty special day.
And then, not to be outdone, but on the breaking news side of things, we have a debut at Statewide Stampede happening.
That's very, very exciting. So a debut for Skater Crash Register skating on breaking news today. Very, very exciting for them. I can't wait to see how they skate today. I'm sure they'll do absolutely fabulously. I know both Northeast and Westside are incredibly supportive clubs, and they'll have a great time skating on that team. Yeah, it looks like we're still just doing some official bits, so we'll be underway shortly. In the meantime, feel free to check out some of our lovely vendors. So we do have our hosts, the Witches of Eastwick. We look like they have a raffle and a bake sale. We have Magelia College with some cool little knickknacks. We've got Dragon City Roller Derby merch. We've got heaps of bits up there. Honestly, just go for a shop.
Exactly. You don't need us to tell you what's there. Go explore.
Exploring, have a shop, spend some cash, get some trinkets. I think Snipples is about to reopen their stall, the pink one that we love, full of stickers and mugs and socks and all the good stuff. I love the designs. And they're also a wonderful tattoo artist, can confirm, as they have inked me personally.
I've been watching their Instagram of their tattooing, and yes, there's a few there that I have gone, ooh, that's an idea.
It's very, very good.
Maybe.
Let's do it. Looks like we have the rolling whistle. Will be underway shortly, and I know those shorts. That is Jack Rabbit jamming up first for breaking news.
We do have a little bit of a battle of shorts. We also have Pow with the sparkly ruffles on the side.
Always a fan of those.
So it's Jack Rabbit up against which number is that? The 777. So that
Skating with Tiny's jersey. We will get the skater's name shortly. And a quick call off from our lead jammer for Firetails there. Jack Rabbit did hit the back of the pack. I think there's confirmation on points there. And we just head to official timeout to double check everything.
Bang. That's 777, not
Okay.
3.
All right. So
thank you, Mr. Griff.
just confirming there that was Bang, our jammer for Diamond Firetails, Diamond Valley Firetails, who got lead in that last jam. Up on the start line now, we have Nels Bells jamming for breaking news, one of our fabulous products of Junior Roller Derby. And I believe that's Furious D for the Firetails up on the start line too.
You want to do it yourself or you want them to do it?
Do it.
Okay, cool.
It's just for raffle prizes. So that's cost of tickets, how many prizes, when it's going to be bake sale prices, and then gotcha. Just while we're in our little time out here, just been handed a lovely bit of information from our gracious hosts, the Witches of Eastwick. So we do have lots of raffle prizes to help support their club and support roller derby. There's 9 prizes up for grabs.
9, that's a massive
I know.
effort.
So they're getting called after the 3 p.m. game. So this is the 1 p.m. game 3. So there'll be one more game after this, and then the raffles will be announced. You can get tickets. One ticket will be for $2, 3 for $5, or 7 for 10. So you have a good range of deals there.
We have a lot of people who are also already going, hey, I want that prize. Don't put it in for that. So please put it in for every single prize. I like that when there's a challenge of which prize are you going to get. And in the next break, we'll go through some of the bake sale pricing too.
Yep. That is our rolling whistle, and we have started back on again with Furious D and Nels Bells. Furious D pushing up the front. Nels with 1 to beat up the front.
Getting past Smacker on there to pick up lead. Furious D not far behind.
A bit of a fight for the front for our blocking pods there. As Nels comes round. Grabbing 3 points there with a very nice call off, keeping Firetail scoreless in that particular jam. So, which is our first 2 jams done for the day. We have both teams hitting the scoreboard. Breaking news for 3 points, and Firetail's on 2.
And we've just had another official timeout. So while we're taking time to do that, for the bake sale, 1 item for $3, 2 for $5, unless otherwise marked. And they also have soft drinks and water available.
All right, rolling whistle. We are 5 seconds away from more derby. I think that is Nuclear Force out jamming for breaking news, and
Swoop.
Nuclear Force out with lead for the Newsies. Swoop are just behind. And another really quick call off there. Really great awareness between jammers and bench to get those quick points and call it. Diamond Firetails not to be outdone though, grabbing 2 points as well.
Nice little hit out there from Little Fury right at the end, just helping to protect that last point from being picked up.
Absolutely. So I think that's Bang and Jack Rabbit back up on the jammer start line. Bang pushing up the front and grabbing lead for the Firetails. Jack Rabbit still working at the back of the pack right on the first straightaway. Oh, lovely work there by Bang. Really coming on the outside apex and then moving all the way laterally to the inside, hopping over to grab 4 points.
Machines out there having fun, causing chaos, as always.
Jack Rabbit out on their initial, looking to make contact with the pack, try and score some points. And kept scoreless in that jam, and looks like 2 more points for the Firetails. Firetails with an early lead, but very, very early days yet. We do have Nels Bells and Furious D back up on the jammer start line.
Oh, Nels with a lovely little sneak through on the inside. But not being delayed too much is Furious D coming on the outside.
That's lovely toe stop work there by Nels Bells. Just maneuvering around those blockers. Furious D trying to take the outside, takes a bit of a tumble, but is helped back up by a Hellcat, that we love to see.
One of the things that I love with breaking news is just the level of newness but experience. It's like so many of our teams. You've got those really new coming into Derby, having only played a few games at statewide, and then you've got those people who have been stalwarts of the teams. It's just beautiful.
I love a combination of fresh and even a debutante with, you know, real veterans of the sport. Nice knock to the inside there by the pod from Breaking News. That has Keza detention. And that's 2-0 as well. That's Kitty Kaboom.
And speaking of experience, between this Kitty Kaboom and Hezekiah Power, they've been part of Derby for so long. But then you've got people like Evada and Tenacious G, where they started late last year.
Exactly. Nels Bell's grabbing lead for Newsies there, coming through into the pack, looking to score some points. We do have a power jam here for Nuclear Force Out. It seems that Swoop is sitting in the penalty bin for a sports crime.
Oh no, sports crime. I believe it is an X next to their name, so can't.
Track. Jam a favourite.
This is where having a stream right next to me helps, so I can have a little sticky deep as to what the penalty was.
Thank you, thank you. And nicely done there. Grabbing 4 more points. It's an 8-point jam there. Calling it off and freezing Swoop in the bin. Standings, there's 10 seconds or less left on that penalty.
And I will say, lovely, lovely, realizing the only ground as a ref. Oh no, everyone's watching me. Let's pose.
Yeah, if you're going to fall, do it with
Take a moment and make it look good.
Yeah, do it with some pizzazz. I think we just have a official timeout just to confirm some official bits.
I believe that, statewide stampede, it is not just skaters who are learning, it's also the officials. So, there's sometimes just needing to be a little bit of a double check happening at times, just make sure that if people are doing roles that they're not used to, they're getting that backing up and helping them out.
Absolutely. We take the developmental aspect of Statewide Stampede very seriously across all different aspects. You'll have people from our ModCon opportunities to our skaters moving up into full contact, and our officials and NSOs learning different roles as well. So big shout out again to our officials and to one of our tournament head officials, Muggles, for their work over the weekend, getting us all organized. Buster Hammy will be back, I believe, for the next rounds. I believe.
Depends on how much she enjoys Japan, I believe.
Oh, jealous.
Having been there twice myself, I would say, yeah, really, really enjoy and stay as long as possible. Stuff.
Yeah.
As much as we miss you. Enjoy your travel.
Absolutely. Yeah, so just while it's getting confirmed, it looks like will not only be a power start for Jackrabbit and Breaking News, but a pack advantage as the Firetails also have a blocker in the bin as well. So honestly, jam of heaven.
Things are underway again.
Breaking News looking to swallow up the opposition, allowing Jack to push out the front, pushing on Smackaron, not an easy task. Swoop from the bin.
Oh, just missed it.
That was close. So Jackrabbit through 4 lead, but Swoop hot on their heels.
That was a smile of, just.
Just. Both jammers hitting the pack. Looks like just confirming points. 1 point for Firetails on the board. Looks like Breaking News were unable to score on that pass.
Bit more of a conversation for the officials.
They have lots to talk about. There's lots going on.
And I'm noticing that we have a little bit of a micro pack happening once more for Firetails, unfortunately.
Yes. So looks like it's just Squeals and Mad Splatter out for Firetails, hyping each other up. But no need because it is an official timeout. But a full pack on the track for Breaking News. I believe that's Liza Minelli, that's Detention, that's Keza Kapow, and who have we got? I can't see behind from my angle. Oh, that's Vivian Oblivion. Hey, Viv. And sending up to Jam, I believe we have Bang and Nels Bells again. Oh, interesting.
Is it?
I believe there's been a late call issued here to the Firetails jammer from the previous jam swoop, as they are now putting the star back on, but in the penalty bin.
So massive advantage here for breaking news in terms of pack and being the only jammer.
I mean, from breaking news perspective, life's good. But Firetails, I'd like to see how both Splats and Squeals handle this scenario here. Yeah. Lovely offense provided there by Vivian Oblivion for Nels Bells to come through with lead.
We've just had Zilla rejoin the pack for the Firetails, so it's starting to show up a little bit with an extra blocker.
Nels through with 4 points. Again, some lovely offense from Keza and Viv. Oh, nice work on that seam from the Firetails, knocking Nels Bells back. Unfortunately, can't contain her for long. Swoop is back on track now, having been released from the bin, looking for their initial.
Yeah, meeting the hips of Vivian Oblivion and being bounced back a little bit.
Another penalty issued for blockers from both Firetails and Breaking News. 1 blocker apiece in the bin.
Curse of the commentator.
It
Like
happens.
it's going in.
Whoopsies. Nels Bells listening to their bench there and calling it off. That is a lovely 12-point jam there, bringing their total for Breaking News up to 30 points. Firetails on 13 with 22 minutes or so left in this first half.
Lots of shuffling around, making sure the right numbers are out there, the right people, where they need to be.
Bang, working. Oh, finding a gap on the inside. Well done to get lead there. Nuclear Force out, maybe half track behind, but gaining speed.
Oh, beautiful. That was just the right positioning there from Power and Disgrace to open up the inside line, allowing them to get through without being touched.
It is the best feeling getting through on a scoring path without anyone touching you. It feels amazing. All right, Jack Rabbit and Furious D. Up on the start line, 1 blocker apiece for each team in the bin. Oh, and a little bit of a false start there. Official timeout called right on 30 seconds, just to confirm a few bits.
I know there was a bit of a delay in regards to the points that have been put up, so
Yeah. Rolling whistles back up. We're about to get back underway. Just a short time out there. As Furious D and Jackrabbit work on some very strong tripods there. Jackrabbit just finding a little bit of room on the inside, hopping away for lead. Furious D still working hard at the top of the pack. Finding Liza Minnelli and Vivian Oblivion, not the place you want to be. And pushing that bridge all the way out until a no play is out of play is called, allowing Furious D on their initial. Jack in the pack, hopefully scoring points, but calling it off before Furious D can engage, grabbing 3 points on that particular jam.
Nels Bell's lining up again, and
I live that Swoop. Who's
Yeah.
also on their second game today? They played with TRV as well this morning. There's a couple of those.
I'm just thinking back to when Cyclo basically did every day.
The Psycho's built different.
Very much so.
Lovely work there from Nels Bells. You can take Nels to the line, but unfortunately, they're just so agile. They'll just hop right over you. They're wonderful to watch. Swoop doing some awesome work on the outside as well through 4 initial.
Swoop borrowed Group Reaper's top. And so I keep seeing 19 and going, oh, it's Grip. And then it's like, no, Grip's on the bench.
Something's not right here. Now that's a lovely 4 points and call there by Jackrabbit and breaking. Oh, sorry, Nels Bells and breaking news. Keeping Firetail scoreless.
Nuclear Force out is over there. And I think, is that Bang?
I think that's Bang.
Yeah.
Pack advantage again for breaking news as Diamond Firetails have one blocker in the bin. Nuclear Force out. Nukes, commonly known as working their way at the front, trying to get a bit of assistance from Vivian Oblivion. Gets it, sweeps up the outside and gets lead.
Bang getting out on there in the field.
Nukes working in that pack. And calling it off before Bang could re-enter. So 3 more points there for breaking news.
Hello.
So 40 points, 217 in favor of breaking news.
Yeah, they're just starting to get a bit of momentum at the moment. Breaking news had a couple of leads in the row. They think they've settled into it. Sending out Jackrabbit to jam against Furious D. Jack also has played a game this morning with TRB as well. It's their second game jamming today. Did a fabulous job this morning. And
again, Jackrabbit is built different.
oh, they're amazing. Finding room on the outside, getting lead. Furious D also threw on their initial.
And that's one of the benefits with Statewide Stampede. You know, you get to know each other, and it's like, well, we need a player, and someone's there going, hey, I like playing, put me out there.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about. You know, we want to play hard and fair, and if there's opportunities for players from other teams to help fill in numbers, we're all for it.
Exactly.
Nels, Bells, and Swoop back up again. I do like this pairing.
This is an interesting pairing.
It is. They're both very light on their feet. Breaking news, Tripod taking the front there. Some good line coverage by Detention and Kitty and Keza. Nels finds room on the outside and gets lead. A nice run back there by Kitty.
Nels picking up 4 points there. Lots of whistles happening.
Lots of whistles, bit of whistle confusion, but Swoop through on their initial as Nels comes through with 4 more points with a little bit of a dip on the outside.
Nels is tiny enough already.
I know. They don't need to get any lower.
It's one of the reasons why I like the really short, fast jammers that do bean dips. It's like, you're already halfway deaf.
Bean tips are hard when you're tall. The ground is so far away. All right, Bang and Nuclear Force out on the jam start line. 1 blocker apiece in the bin for both teams.
This is another pairing that I've liked watching.
Yeah, as I agree, yeah. Ooh, almost through on the inside, knocked out and recycled. Oh, but just takes the outside instead. Lead jammer for Bang.
That knockout actually worked in their favour.
Sometimes it does. Nukes pushing out the front, finds a toe stop's worth of room on the outside for their initial as well. Oh, lovely team offense by the Firetails there, allowing Bang to find some room on the inside for 4 points.
Bang paying attention to the bench coach to continue going.
Yeah, Nukes working hard against some very strong Firetails defense there.
There's been some pretty big hits in that pack in both directions, so it's been very good to watch.
Absolutely. The reforming for Firetails at the moment is really good. They're just waterfalling on top of each other. Penalty called on one of the Firetails blockers, allowing Noobs to come through with 4 points for breaking news.
Oh, that was on Pow.
And 4 points also for Bang from Firetails as well. And calling it there before any more points can be scored. That is a 12 point jam for Firetails. 4 points still picked up by breaking news. Still in the lead. That's a good little creep up on that points differential by Firetails.
Definitely a jam that they needed.
Absolutely. And sometimes that's all it takes. One team gets a bit of momentum, and you just need one solid jam to get that momentum to shift back in your favor.
It is very much a game of momentum. And it's also very much a game of luck in some ways, because you just need one call to go in your way.
Yep.
And that swings that momentum for you.
Absolutely. And then trying to hold desperately onto that momentum with both hands is the tricky bit.
Exactly.
I believe this might be an official
Official, yeah.
timeout. I don't think it's a review.
No.
Otherwise, I would have snuck in to get the goss. But no, this is a good. So about halfway through the first half. So it's a pretty good, tightly matched game so far. Like that last jam has really helped the points differential for Firetails, but I think both teams are doing some really solid work out there.
It's one of those things where it's like, even when you start having that difference happening with the scores, you can watch the packs and just go, this is not easy for either team. They are working so hard out there.
Absolutely. And the score doesn't always reflect the quality of the gameplay that's
Exactly.
going on as well. Just sometimes a bit of luck, as you were saying. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the combination of veterans and debutantes and newer skaters on both teams. There's a fair few very experienced skaters hanging out with their brand new buddies.
Yeah.
Seen our debutante Crash Register do some nice blocking in those tripods as well. And our
Birthday buddies.
birthday buddies doing great work. Have to love my birthday buddies, Disgrace and Little Fury, as I had the pleasure of doing ModCon with both of them. So there's lots of big love for them.
I was also their bench coach when they debuted, so
Oh,
big love.
looks like the officials have made up their official minds, and just cementing all the things that they're doing. There's a lot going on in Derby. That's why we have so many referees, to have so many eyes on different things.
Here we go. Looks like it might be a late penalty that they had to talk about.
Yeah.
You never like seeing a ref going over to a bench coach. It's generally
As a jammer myself, it's generally jammer penalties when they come in nice and late. So you kind of just like tense up a little bit. It's like, what have I done?
And it looks like that is definitely the case here. It's Jammer is going to the penalty box now.
Yep. So as we've seen a couple of times already in this first half, we have both pack advantage and a power start here for breaking news. So one blocker in the bin for Firetails and their jammer. So let's see if breaking news can make the most of this power start opportunity.
Jack Rabbit was out there on the line, so you know.
Oh, pack moving backwards for a moment there. But Jack is through with lead. They had an absolute screamer of a game this morning with TRV and Dragon City. So let's see how they go with this scoring pass. Oh, lovely. Lovely. That's some nice offensive help there by Liza Minnelli and Vivian Oblivion to give Jack 4 points on that pass.
All blockers are now on track, and Van has returned. Unfortunately, a little bit of friendly fire stopping them from getting through.
Bang almost through on the inside. Unfortunately, meets Vivian Oblivion. Not almost the blocker you want to meet at the end of your journey to get out initial.
They also had a bit of a run-in with their own pivot.
Oh no.
That's always the worst feeling when you hit one of your own people and go, oh, everyone's still pre-informed in front of me.
Yeah, I did that once again. So a great power jam there from Jack Rabbit, grabbing 12 points for breaking news. Bang did get through on their initial, but kept scoreless, unable to hit the pack to score any points.
So just over 13 minutes remaining in this half. 68 to 29.
Mm. Furious D and Nels Bells up ready to jam. Everyone on track, no one in the bin. Nels pushing out, finds a spot right through the middle, gets lead. Furious D working hard. I think that's Hellcat and Crash Register, our debutant, doing absolute most. Furious D able to find a gap though, through for initial.
Hellcat doing an amazing job of keeping an eye on all the newer stables.
Some great team offense provided by Breaking News. Unfortunately, did open a nice lane on the inside for Furious D to take 4 points apiece for jammers there.
Good awareness from Furious to actually realize the line was open.
Yeah, it was very smart jamming there.
Unfortunately, getting back blocked just then.
So we have a power jam here for Nels Bells and Breaking News as Furious D heads the bin and Blocker 9999 that squeals for Firetails in the bin as well. Yeah, lovely work by Nels. Just pushing that tripod away, opening up enough of a gap for her to slip through.
Just very slowing down Nels. Unfortunately, he's got to hit the ground and just could not get there in time to shore up.
Indeed. All right, so team timeout has been called by the Firetails after Nels grabbed 16 points on that last jam. Furious D was able to grab 4 before, unfortunately, incurring a penalty and being sent to the bin. They are standing with their pivot, so both have 10 seconds or less before re-entering in the next jam.
Exactly. So we were mentioning before in regards to the raffle prizes and the costs. 9 prizes up for grabs. 1 ticket for $2, 3 for 5, 7 for 10, and it will be called before the juniors game at 5 o'clock.
Oh, I'm so excited for the juniors game. But yes, please go up to the front desk with the purple tablecloths, talk to your friendly witches, grab some raffle tickets, 1 for 2, 3 for $5, or 7 for 10. Pick your litter of the prizes and keep your fingers crossed until the end of the 3 p.m. game. Again, as most of us are aware, at Statewide Stampede, we do have TGSS this year. Massive tournament in Adelaide. So I believe most of the fundraising from this weekend is getting towards sending our teams across borders to go and compete in Adelaide for the Great Southern Slam. It is the biggest roller derby tournament in the Southern Hemisphere. We're all very excited to go. So in the current economic climate, buy a raffle ticket, send a skater to Adelaide. All right, Jam's back on with our power start here, taken by Nuclear. Force out. And find some room on the track there to come through for lead. Furious D released from the bin and on their initial pass as well.
That was a very quick hitting the pack and getting out on initial.
Very quick hit and call off there by Nuclear Force out. I think there's just a confirmation between referees if there was any point scored. And an official review is being called. I'm going to go get the goss.
Yep. So while Kilbo is finding out the goss, I'm just going to bring up our penalty. Now to just have a little bit of only 4 penalties and 4 news. Nicely spread out, so no issues there. And then for the Firetails, again, no one serious issues, just a lot more being called on them. So a lot being given to I shouldn't say a lot, but a couple to the jammers, which is where the main difference has been. Most of the power jams have gone in favour of breaking news, so they've been managed to pick up scores a little bit unopposed. We are just waiting to find out what's going on and what the outcome will be. So in roller derby, each half teams do get one official review each, unless they win the first one, in which case they will get a second. If they don't win it, they do not get a second. And they can choose to call it at any point in time.
All right, I'm back with the hot goss off the press while our officials deliberate. So, Firetail's alternate Bonnie Jovi has called a request for a forearms or illegal contact penalty to be called on the jammer from breaking news for the previous jam, believing there was use of forearms outside the bounds of play that did actually allow Nuclear Force Out to gain advantage when re-entering the track. So the officials will discuss whether that actually occurred, what they saw, if it's going to be a forearms penalty, no penalty, or illegal contact. That's for our lovely officials to decide and determine. But would see if Firetails will retain their official review or not.
So the main thing is that keyword of advantage. So a lot of the times a penalty will be assessed because advantage has been gained, more so than the level of impact that it's had.
Yeah, absolutely. So the official reviews are for our teams to request the officials to relook at a particular circumstance and to have a greater deliberation about what happens in the heat of the moment. So for those who may be newer to Derby or still learning, if the official review for Firetails is deemed successful and they have the penalty issue that they are requesting, they will keep that review for the remainder of the first half. However, if the no call stands, they will lose that review and are unable to call their official review for the remainder of the first half.
And that is only on the first one do you get the chance to have that second one given to you.
Yes, yeah, you can't just keep using your official reviews forever.
It would be nice if you could do that, but there's enough stoppages that happen in roller derby anyway. We don't need extra.
Absolutely. We like to keep the flow of the game happening as much as possible, but there are times where it's just like, hang on a minute, let's have a look at that.
And the thing with an official review is there's actually no set time as for how long this discussion happens. They will discuss it from all different aspects in regards to, depending on what the call is in relation to, they might go and talk to someone from the penalty box to make sure that something that had been said to them has actually occurred, all that kind of stuff. So it's the officials are very much, we can't call it if we don't see it, but they try and make sure that they cover all aspects of it.
Absolutely. And that's why having so many eyes on track is so important, as you may see different things from different angles. You cannot always see through the pack to the other side of the tracks. That's why our OPR refs are so valuable. So they're just having a big discussion as our head official, Zarantula, goes back to deliver the verdict.
Yep. So we are waiting to see what the outcome is.
It's too far away for me to run out to see if the penalty gets issued or not.
That's why I generally stay in there if I'm listening in. It saves me one extra run. So I'm kind of hoping that they will signal to the score bench and then we can see what happens.
Yeah, look at that lovely close up here from our streaming partner. Beautiful shot there of our captains and alternates and our head official.
So you were talking before about people who were like on their third game and everything. Bonnie Jovi has on the bench just game after game so far this morning.
Looks like the official review will be not retained by Firetails as two jammers are on the track.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll speak more of Bonnie because I speak very highly of her always after this next jam with Swoop and Jack Rabbit.
I will just say we have had a comment in the chat from the live stream of storming game again, Jack Rabbit, and you've been saying that a bit.
They had an absolute blinder this morning. But it is Swoop who's out for lead for the Firetails. Jack's still working on that initial as Swoop re-enters the pack and finds a gap on the outside for 4 points. A star pass taken, but a big hit there from Smackaron.
That was brilliant awareness of the star pass happening from Smackaron.
Yeah, and another big hit there to the outside as well. Swoop in for another scoring pass in amongst the pack now as our new jammer. That is raw power for breaking news. Copping a big shoulder from Mad Splatter. Been in that position, not fun. And looks like Firetails want to run this jam a little longer. Oh, some great work on the outside there by Raw Power for 4 points, breaking news.
I think they were hoping to get Disgrace out of the penalty box. Unfortunately, Power's now joined them.
Ah. Yeah, great jam from both teams there. I believe that's
A 12-4 jam.
4 jam. Very nicely done. But a couple of blockers sacrificed the bin for those points. So just was saying before with Bonnie. So because she said herself to me that she's not playing this year, so she's benching Banshees, Team Regional Victoria. She's also helped out with Firetails.
Yep.
She's also the stats coach for the Wizards of Oz, Australia's men's team. She bench coaches Victoria Men's Roller Derby League. She does the mod con every round.
Is also officiating. Basically, I look at it as, have you retired or have you just changed where your focus is?
Just an all-around legend.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely apex jumper. Our lead jammer, Nels Bells, for 4 points there. That was pitch perfect.
And when she gets a chance to, also takes photos.
Oh, of course she does. It's lovely work again on the inside line by Nels Bells. Ignore the bang. It's all good. It's just bang jamming.
Nicely done.
Thank you, thank you.
Nicely done.
I love a segue. Both jammers in and scoring points. So far, 8 points apiece. Nels is lead and in front. And gets the instruction to call.
Did Ben hit the pack in time? No.
No. I believe they hit the pack, but it was a very strong seam there by Intensive
Yeah.
Player Unit and Liza Minnelli. There was no hip in front of hip on that round.
Just over 7 minutes remaining in the half. Scores are 106 to 53. So nice maths here.
And Kitty's having a jam.
Nice maths of 53-point difference.
Yeah, that is Kitty Kaboom up jamming, I believe, for the first time today. Haven't seen Kitty jam in a little while. Furious D out the front, grabs lead. Kitty hunting them down, overtakes on the inside.
Furious D's just like, yeah, no.
I wouldn't either, not with the look of pure determination on Kitty Kapow's face there. Kitty Kaboom, sorry. It's because of Kapow and Kitty Kaboom. I always get them mixed up. Wonder why.
Yeah, I have no idea why you get identical twins mixed up at all.
My very first full contact game was with a Nerdy Dragons mashup team, and I spent the entire weekend going, hi. Which one are you? Jack Rabbit and Swoop back up to jam. Love this pairing. It's really quite gone either way so far. Jack Rabbit working at some strong defense at the back, looking for help from Vivian Oblivion as Swoop is trapped very nicely.
Swoop's gone in for the offense, and Squirrel's went in for Firetails to try and get some offense there.
Lead awarded to Jack Rabbit after some offensive help. Nuclear Force out now blocking very well with Vivian Oblivion, Detention, and Liza Minnelli. And a lovely recycle there by Vivian Oblivion on Swoop. Jack working hard to get through strong defense. and grabs 4 points for their efforts. I believe Swoop's still working on that initial. This News defense is not letting up. Lovely, lovely work on the outside. Just finding enough room for a skate width for Jackrabbit, grabbing 4 more points.
I've just been in awe of watching the recycling that's been happening from the breaking news pack. It's every time that a line starts being opened, someone's there to shut it right down. It's just so good at that.
They are. They're finding their groove. Breaking news. That's an 8-point jam for Jackrabbit, and both of those scoring passes by Jackal right in front of us here, and just beautiful work on the outside line. Like Jack coming in really hot, in control of their skates, popping over the edge. Oh, it was beautiful. Looks like Kitty up to jam again, and that
is it Kitty or is it Keza?
I'm trying. I think that one's Kez.
It's Kez. It's Kez out there.
Oh my god!
Look at the hair.
The hair. I was looking for the skates actually. So that is lead being awarded to Bang. Unfortunately, Keza has been issued a penalty, so it's a power jam for Bang and the Firetails.
And this might actually be the first power jam in Firetails advancing.
Might be the second. I think we've had a new let the stats person figure that out.
Yeah, they haven't had many.
Not many, no. And Bang taking full advantage, grabbing 8 points already, while Keza is still in the bin.
Keza hitting the path hard.
Keza released from the bin now, through on their initial Bang with more points for the Firetails. That's a 16-point jam so far.
We have a micro pack out there, only 4 blockers total.
Yeah, it's not fun for those 4 blockers, but they're doing a great job. That's Little Fury, Smackaron, Crash Register, and Tenacious G, as both of our jammers are through scoring points. Oh, lovely step over the inside apex by Bang. Not even having to slow down. Keza taking a hit.
Fury out there by themselves now.
Reinforcements you hope are coming soon.
Yeah, going up against Keza by yourself, very scary.
Very scary. More points for Bang. This is a massive jam for the Firetails. You still scoring points with Keza Kapow, but just a mammoth 28-point jam for Bang and the Firetails, bringing them to 81 points. A massive, massive jam. 28 points is a lot of laps. Keza Kapow for Breaking News with 8 points of their own, bringing Breaking News to 122. So still in the lead by about 40 points. Don't make me do too much math.
41.
Thank you. 41 points. So jam is on with Furious D and Nels Bells. Nels taking advantage of a little bit of whistle confusion for lead. Oh, lovely work. Just straight through the arms. Blockers are forced to drop any arm links to avoid a multiplayer block. So as taught in our club, arms are gaps.
So just watching the little bit of confusion that had been going on. Unfortunately, their power jam has been called because Furious D is now in the penalty box. So now the Bells on their own. There was a bit of confusion as the Firetails actually had too many people out on track. And it also means that we do not have a pivot out there.
Interesting. So that was a very smart bit of jamming there by Nels Bells. She had so cut track called on Nels Bells after I was about to compliment her wonderful skating. She was
I think that was actually prior to going through that scoring pass.
I think so. It looks like there's a bit of confusion as whether it was a no pass, no penalty, or a cut track, and which skater had superior position.
Yeah.
So 2-minute jam will be here. So we will have the full length jam for Furious D, who's working very hard at the front of the pack against Nuclear Force Out and Vivid Oblivion.
Seriously, getting out on their initial.
Yeah, lovely spin on the inside to do so.
Just been watching some of the hand signals from the officials, so seeing what's going on. I mean, if you're going to have a 2-minute jam, being the final jam of the half is always a good one to have it in.
Yeah, absolutely. That's lovely work by Nels, just sliding back on one foot right on the outside. Just lovely, lovely footwork. Furious D working hard, pushing up against, that is Kitty and Viv. Again, not a fun spot to be, but they're working very hard.
So at the end of that jam, we are going into intermission. Scores are news on 138, Firetails 81. I'm just going to take a little bit of a moment because of how much whistles there were in that last jam, just to bring it up. So I showed this during the official review earlier. News has now picked up a hell of a lot more penalties than they had earlier. So earlier they only had 4, and that is significantly more than 4.
No one in real danger yet.
Whereas Firetails had several already, and they've now got one skater who's in a little bit of penalty.
Yeah. So for those on our broadcast, you'll be able to look at the names on your screen. Because we are also live in the venue, we'll not be talking too much about individual skaters and their penalties. That can be considered a tactical advantage.
And it can kind of actually get a bit of a mental gameplay in their heads. If they want to know what it is, they'll ask the question kind of thing. But most skaters generally are pretty aware of what their count is.
Absolutely. And our wonderful officials in the penalty box will let them know. So we are at half time. So the skaters will change benches. As my lovely co-commentator was saying, we have Firetails on 85, News on 141. We'll see you back here in just under 15 minutes.
No bad beat. My whip kindness, I kill him with the LOV. It's a month of Waka Fire show. We let it burn in the night. It's my call, y'all. I'm everything.
direction I should go. What's meant for me will never stray. I tell myself this every day. So hard, so hard. Following my truth.
what you're thinking. Give me what you're drinking. Tell me what you're thinking. Give me what you're drinking. You and me, we got something special, baby. You and me, you and me. I can think this was never meant to happen. You and me, you and me. I can't help it. I can't help it.
And welcome back for period 2 of our game here between Breaking News and the Diamond Valley Firetails. As we head into the second half, we do have Firetails sitting on 85 points. They're playing in the blue. And out in front, Breaking News in the white, 141 points. So about a 60-ish point differential. Again, I'm not doing math this far into my Sunday, but it's it's not a unsurmountable point differential, but it is a big task ahead for Firetails. But both teams have been skating fantastically. Just before we went into the halftime break, we did look over some of the penalties. We do have that as well, just for our viewers on our live stream to see. Both teams doing a reasonably good job of keeping it low. There's your breaking news penalties for those on the stream, and for those on the stream, that is your penalties for the Firetails. A few more in there. We won't go into specifics as we are live in venue as well. So we are just getting everyone in positions to get started. We will have 2 blockers for breaking news starting from the bin. So who do you send out when you have 2 blockers in the bin? Vivian Oblivion. Naturally. We'll have Nels Bells up to jam for breaking news, and that is bang back on the start line. Had a tumble, back up and ready. That's how you know you're ready for a jam.
Thank you for doing all the pre-half information. I got a chance to actually eat. Nels Bells picking up lead there.
And bang through on their initial pass, as well as Nels is through for a scoring pass. Grabbing all 4 points. Oh, I think that may be a point steal there from Diamond Valley, but we'll just confirm with the jam refs. Yes, I thought, yep, snuck through. So because they overtook the 1 skater remaining on track for breaking news, they did gain all the points for all the plays either off the track in the penalty bin or out of position. So that is a 4-4 jam. That's really, really nice work done there by Firetails.
So that looks like it is Jackrabbit and Swoop. I just like saying swoop. Swoop. It's got a good pop. Jackrabbit picking up lead. And picking up. Oh, we're picking an interesting line to go through and do with spinning pirouette kind of thing.
Yeah, that was, I think, line perfect as well. There was a big look down at the line. Oh, and Swoop has been called for a cut track penalty. Going to the bin power jam here for Jack Rabbit. Does some lovely work on the outside with help from Vivian Oblivion. Breaking news trying to capture a goat. Not quite able to. Breaking news sending in some players there to try and cause some chaos, break up the defensive work of Diamond Valley. Jack pushing up against Misdemeanor. Decide they've had enough of that.
I think they were trying to ice the jammer and Swoop in
Yes.
the penalty box. Unfortunately, Swoops managed to get themselves out.
Gosh, that happens, doesn't it? So
They say unfortunately just purely because of timing of call off.
yeah,
Not because it's unfortunate that they got out of the penalty box.
we do like jammers out of the penalty box, but it wasn't the desired tactical outcome there.
Yeah, from a strategy point of view.
So we'll have 2 jammers on track as we start this next jam. They're just having a short timeout to confirm some bits with our officials. But we will have Nuclear Forceat and Furious D on the start line when we get back underway.
Being that this is sort of the first weekend of Statewide Stampede, we've got a lot of people in doing new positions for our officials. So it's a double duty, making sure everyone's across the board, especially with so having that change in how penalties are being called.
Yes, absolutely. So the change being we're not calling by shirt colors anymore, but calling by team names as designated by captains and alternates in the captains' meetings. We have Firetails and News. Furious D working really hard up the front there, trying to push through. That is Keza Kapow, Liza Minnelli, and Vivian Oblivion. Nuclear Force out with one to beat out the front, gets the hips in front, avoids a big cross-track hit there, incoming by Little Fury, grabbing lead.
Furious D still working to get through that very experienced cycle. When,
Yeah.
when Viv and Keza and Kitty are out there, it's a lot of experience to go up against.
Absolutely. And Kitty was wasting no time being released in a penalty bin and coming straight through to provide offense for Nuclear Force out. And a cut track called there on Jammer for News, Nuclear Force out. Power Jam opportunity and a star pass has been taken.
Squeals getting the star, and he's now the Firetails Jammer, having this lovely power jam. But
Yeah,
their long legs are having to work overtime because all of that was cycling for years, but managing to get through, stepping over a few people.
yeah, those long legs coming in handy there. There was some excellent offense provided by the Firetails as a team, but then decided just to hold back and provide passive offense, allowing Squeals to push through. Nuclear Force out now back on track, engaging with the pack. Lovely hippity hoppity on the inside.
Managing to get past Pow. So looks like we are getting an official review of code from the Banshees. Kilbo has headed in to try and work out what is going on. What did Bonnie Jovi see that we might not have? And at this time of Mark, it's kind of, it must be something that she has a pretty definite feeling on. 'Cause when it comes to calling official reviews, you generally don't want to call it too early in case you need it later. So it's usually, it's at this time and it's kind of, you're pretty confident on what you've seen. Kilbo will come back with dots. Firetails now on 98. News is on 161. So what's the tea? Give us the stitch.
Oh, I love having gossip. Alrighty, so official review has been called by Bonnie Jovi for the Diamond Firetails bench. What has been requested is an illegal exit penalty on the jammer from Breaking News Nuclear Force out, believing that they took well beyond a fair amount of time to remove themselves from track after their penalty was called. Believing in that an illegal exit should be called and a penalty applied as such.
So for people who are a bit newer to the sport, basically when a penalty is called, you pretty much need to take the quickest, most direct route off track, not the most convenient necessarily route.
Absolutely. So the penalty being recognized, you either must yield and stop blocking until it's safe to exit, or immediately exit to the outside the track and use the referee lane to move to the penalty box and sit down calmly.
And for a jammer, it means getting straight off track and not just skating around on track until it's, a convenient place to exit.
Yes. So we will see as the refs deliberate whether that penalty is applied to Nuclear Force out as a jammer, and whether Diamond Valley will retain their official review for this period or not.
So looks like we have a bit of an outcome happening. We're just waiting to see, has anyone been sent over to talk?
Yep. Our head referee there is Arantula, giving the news as such. Giving news the news. Thank you. I'm here all day.
You might even say that this is breaking news.
This is getting great. Love this.
So still a bit of conversation happening. I know the school board is looking over to see what the outcome is, yes or no, as to what they need to do on their end. So
Yeah, absolutely. And Zarantula is a well tenured official, so having them as a head ref is a real delight for any referee crew. There is a lot of experience to support those who are still learning. So looks like both captains and alternates are returning to their bench. I do not see yet if there is a jammer heading to the bin. It looks like both Nels Bells and Bang are still at the start line. So it seems from the outcome of the scenario that the review was not retained and the penalty and no call will stand. So just while we're having a little time out for our officials to get back in position, as I say that, there's the whistle. I'll yap about it later. 5 seconds called. Nels, Bells, and Bang up on the jam start line. All blockers on track. Let's get back underway. Oh, lovely work there by Bang, just slipping up the inside for lead.
I think this is the first time I've actually watched Bang as a jammer, and I'm impressed. There's been a lot of sneakiness in
Yeah.
terms of, just finding that little hole and sneaking on through.
I've had the absolute pleasure to jam against Bang when they were playing on the Victorian Roller Derby League Comets team.
Oh, okay.
So I'm a little bit familiar with their game, mostly from a competitor's perspective, and they have some lovely footwork. Looks like Nels has been sent to the bin. So it is a power jam here for Bang as well. We've been talking about how awesome they are. Oh, lovely entry to the pack there, just powering through, keeping upright. That's nicely done.
I love watching SmackDown out there at the moment because it's like providing offense, but just making it look really incidental. It's like, I'm just going to position myself in to cause chaos, and it's up to you whether or not you think I'm actually playing this well or not.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things where sometimes positional offense is more effective than a big hit. Just being in the right place and just stopping someone from moving is more effective than physically shoving them out of the way. Both jammers in amongst the pack scoring points as Firetails elect to run this one a bit longer. Big hit into the back of the pack there. Everyone seems to be all right, but there is a penalty being called, like a multiplayer on one of the blockers from Breaking News.
Just to even up the numbers in the penalty box kind of thing, because there is one from the Firetails in there also. But
Yep.
this is a huge, huge jam from
Yep.
Bang.
Nels Bell's trying to catch up before the whistle blows, but that is and I guess that's the second 28-point jam we've seen from Bang today. Just a mammoth effort. Nels Bell's able to pick up 12 points of her own as well, but my goodness, 28 points is just a lot of skating.
And has pulled the differential back to the 51 points.
Oh, that's very exciting. So you've got just under 23 minutes of the second period remaining. That's not that far away. I can personally consider anything within 20 points to be a very close game of derby.
You've got to love it when the bench coach goes over and goes, "That's an impressive pickup by the jammer. I'm going to take a photo of that."
Did they really? I love that. So
You got to love a supportive bench coach.
So
Yeah, let's celebrate your win.
but we do have something exciting coming up. So while we have very exciting derby on right now, our next game, game 4, we have a debut mashup team. Would you like to tell us more? Tell us everything.
So coming up next is the Witches of Eastwick playing against the Southeast Alliance, who are taking the track for the first time. I am very, very grateful to be able to bench coach them. It is a mashup team between Salty Beaches from Lakes Entrance, Gippsland Rangers, and the South Sea Krakens.
It's very exciting. We are very much looking forward to watching that team. As we get back underway with our current game, Jack Rabbit jamming for Breaking News. That's a big hit. And I believe that will be a official timeout there.
Yes, definitely a wise decision there.
we'll just take a short break and we can continue talking about how wonderful it is to see Southeast Alliance taking the track for the first time up next. From my understanding, we started this partnership, you guys have started this partnership due to Geelong growing as a club.
So,
And so,
but Geelong has now enough players to have their own team, which is always really super exciting when teams manage to get back to that state. In the meantime, the Krakens have lost a few people because they've moved up to the Banshees and to the Sirens, which is always exciting to see in terms of growth of skaters. So we needed to team up with someone because we no longer had enough to have the Krakens by themselves. Geelong moving away meant that their old team up buddies, Gippsland Rangers, went, yeah, we could go into another mashup team and move forward with the Krakens. And in the meantime, we've also got Salty Beaches who have two skaters, so they also needed a home, and they've been forming that home with the Gippsland Rangers. So it allowed all of us to kind of come together. It gives more people for Salty Beaches to be able to play with and actually be able to play within a team environment. Gippsland Rangers is providing that lovely, steady, we work together with all of us kind of thing. And then having the Krakens come in, providing just the new legs for them. It should be a very, very, very good team.
I think so. I'm very excited to watch. I think it's very special when these mashups occur because of the growth of our sport. I think it's good for everybody in roller derby that teams in areas around Victoria are able to field teams under their own club. And when these teams break apart from their previous mashups, other teams put their hand up to support other clubs and say,
Exactly.
there's a home for you here with us.
It's one of those things where there are a lot of movement within roller derby, whether it's new players or players retiring or moving up into different positions and everything like that. So having a tournament like Statewide Stampede where the teams are actually able to go, you know what? We're not going to have enough numbers, but we've got another team who doesn't. Let's see what we can do in terms of making this work for both, or in this case, for the three. Let's do it kind of thing.
Absolutely. So I'm really excited to watch them play. Having the pleasure of playing Witches yesterday. I know they're a very fierce team. I reckon it's going to be an absolute blast of a game to watch. So do stick around if you're either joining us on our stream or if you're in venue. There's still 2 more wonderful games of roller derby yet to come.
Because after the Witches C game, we're then going into the juniors.
Yay! So juniors is my jam. I am very, very privileged and honored to be one of the coaches here for our juniors program at Dragon City Roller Derby with KTKO. So we have a modified contact for our juniors. So juniors with roller derby works a little bit different. We don't actually group our skaters by age group. We group them by skill level. So you will see occasionally 16 and 17-year-olds skating with 12 and 13-year-olds. So you will see a bit of height differential. If you
I love when Firestarter comes out because she's so tiny, but almost unstoppable.
She asked me when her next growth spurt's going to be about once a week. So, and again, these skaters are coming from across the state, our junior skaters. So it's really, really special to be able to offer them an opportunity to meet other junior skaters from around Victoria and play with them.
Yeah, so I believe in today's games, we've got some from Southeast Magic, which is the Witches and South Sea mashup.
Yep.
I believe there's some from Warrnambool.
Warrnambool, Ballarat has some wonderful junior skaters, and as well as Mildura as well.
Yeah. So, again, having quite often when it comes to Statewide Stampede, our focus is on the upcoming adults. The Witches do like breaking it up a little bit and having an opportunity for the juniors to get a chance to show off how they're developing.
Absolutely. And we are back underway here. Jack Rabbit finding room on the inside to grab lead for breaking news. There we go. And Swoop finding a gap on the outside through for her initial as well. And that's a lovely 4 points and call there by Jack. Getting the signal there from the bench mirror on the other side of the track. That's Tez. Who else is me there?
I believe that would be Zoom.
Zoom. Why did the name escape me? Terrible with that.
because they're wearing Viv's top. So
He's throwing me off. All right, bang up on the start line again with Nuclear Force Out jamming for breaking news.
you gotta like when the mirrors actually do synchronized thumbs up.
Bang pushing hard as Nuclear Force Out is recycled to the middle of the pack. Oh,
Oh,
thought there was a lead grabber, unfortunately incurring a 4 rounds penalty, so lead has been awarded to Nuclear Force Out. Power jam here for breaking news as Nukes hits the pack. Gets a lovely bit of offense there from Raw Power.
and penalties.
Oh,
I'm gonna just stop talking right there because that takes a moment for it to be appreciated. Beautiful spin.
there's a spin into like a turnaround leap on the inside line. Ah, and I could almost read the lips of Nuke saying, "Let me hit the pack first before providing the O." Didn't need it.
Yeah, I was just going to make a comment about, penalties and pack advantage starting to go a bit more in favour of us again.
Yeah.
But, we've now got
Oh,
a power jam in the opposite direction.
so we'll have a full 2-minute jam here. Nuclear Force are unfortunately sent to the bin with a penalty. Bang released from the penalty bin and back in amongst it, scoring points. Oh, couple of tumbles, but I think everyone's up and all right. Good to see.
Also got to love when the bit of a tumble actually works in the advantage of,
Oh no, it worked in my favor. Oh, how tragic. Yeah, it happens. Oh, lovely offense there by Furious D, opening up the inside apex. That was beautifully done. Oh, so everyone is up and all right, but that is just the joy of roller derby. Is just sometimes there is an absolutely massive hit. Unfortunately for Furious D, that was deemed to be a directional, so it was an illegal hit. But the best thing is that everyone's up and skating on their own. So sometimes that's just what happens when you run into someone's shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like Swoop and Nels Bells up to jam here. Nels just squeezing up the inside as Swoop finds room on the outside, only a quarter track behind. Kitty in amongst there, providing some offense for Nels. Fury going for the big hit, unfortunately not able to make contact. Swoop in amongst the pack, able to score points, but being held up by Kitty, Keza, Liza Minnelli, and D Tension. And that is a low block being applied there to Nels Bells. A bit of a jammer penalty heavy game we do have at the moment. So another 2-minute jam here as they've been sent to the bin. Nels Bells loses lead jammer status. So Swoop here able to score points and has a minute or so left on the clock to do so.
So this is very much the time for it to, pull back that deficit a bit. They're now 55 points, 51 points. The difference.
Absolutely. And second half is tough. You've really got to dig deep. The cardio's hard. It's hard work. You're making big impact. You've really got to find a special place to get the rest of that go juice. Nels released from the bin on scoring pass, squeezing through.
You were talking about the big effort and everything. Here I am watching now is just making it look easy with the crossovers around to build speed.
I do think a little bit of that is age, perhaps.
Yes.
Just have a bit more pep in their step. Swoop doing a fantastic job though, just to keep pushing, to keep going. And Nels just finding gaps where there should be none. And grabbing 1 point extra there for Swoop.
So that was a 16 to 13 jam.
So News just trying to keep that points differential in their favor. So it's just crept back out to closer to 60. Again, I'm not doing maths today. I have a film degree. I'm not built for this.
An additional point has been added.
Ba-dum-bum-bum.
So it was a 16 to 14 gem.
14-point gem. I can do that kind of counting. So we still have just under 17 minutes left in our second half here. So as we're just saying, the points differentials remain pretty steady at about 50, 60 points. Firetails on 152 after that last jam, and Breaking News still in front on 209. And I believe we're just having an official timeout just to double check our skaters and our officials. So we'll get back underway when everyone's ready to go. Again, reminder for everyone who may have popped in while we're waiting, please do visit the stalls and vendors we have up on the back wall here at the Bendigo Showgrounds Rec. The gracious hosts of round two, the Witches of Eastwick, who are playing next, do have some more goodies at their bake sale. I bought my raffle tickets in Intermission. If you're going to buy raffle tickets, don't put it in the candle pack because I want that. And that one's mine.
See, in the game before, Frick mentioned that the wine pack was theirs. And my argument before was Gary tends to buy a whole heap of tickets. So you're going to see they generally win at least one prize pretty much every raffle.
You know who has the best luck? One of our wonderful bench coaches here with Chiko Rollers, Library Fine. There has been more than one occasion where Library has not even been in the building and someone has picked up her raffle prize to take back to her.
Nat from the Witches is also one that tends to win a lot.
Just lady luck on their sides.
To the point that they actually, it wasn't them, it was their daughter, Madness, who won one of the prizes, and one of the witches went by and went, let me guess, Nat won that. I'm like, no, it was actually Madness. Oh, it's in the family then.
Indeed. So just keep the good times rolling. So again, support your roller derby teams from across Victoria by buying raffles, and you may take home a gracious prize if you can beat out Gary and Library Fine and 909 Tails and me, because again, I want that candle. And do buy a delicious goodie. You might need a little 3 p.m. sugar pick-me-up.
I am waiting to go over and get my baked goods pre-game, so I'm nicely sugared,
Ooh,
so
love
I
it.
can yell.
Yep. You got a big game ahead of you with the Witches and Southeast Alliance next up here on the track. And then after that, again, we have our juniors. We're playing at 5 p.m. It'll be a mix-up team. So we'll have, I believe it's polar bears and black bears, the way it works for the adults mod con. But
I think so, yes.
just wait for the official confirmation on that one. But again, we'll have a range of skaters from across the state. Juniors are the future of our sport. I'm very, very thrilled to have East Vic putting on a juniors mod con for their hosted round today. I love to see it. I will have to, I'm an OPR for that game, so I'm going to try and watch very neutral, but I will be cheering for them all inside.
See, I feel like you can be impartial as long as you're cheering for everyone.
I think so. I've got some of my lovely kids from our juniors program on both teams, so. So do stick around for that because the juniors are lots of fun. They're very slippery.
Looks like Leo Slayer is getting ready to get the game underway again.
Excellent. We got Jack Rabbit and Bang up jamming. Oh, this is a couple of great jammers who are both having wonderful games today. Bang, looking for friends, finding a gap on the outside, grabbing lead. Jack still working against some wonderful waterfalling defense from the Firetails. Raw trying to offer some offensive help. As Bang is through with 4 points on their first scoring pass. And that's a beautifully executed star pass right in front of us. Jack caught behind the tripod, passed underneath the arms to get the star to wall.
They actually went to do the star pass earlier, but Skills was right on it.
Oh, yeah.
and then ended up having to block. And so they were able to do that lovely little sneak under. However, we have had the situation of a jammer bounce going on. So both jammers got picked up penalties at slightly different points in time. So in this situation, the jammer serving will get released as the new jammer comes in, but the jammer who serves second will only need to serve the same amount of time as that first jammer.
And I think that penalty for each of them was only like 3 or 4 seconds before they were back on track. So sometimes the privilege of being a jammer means you only got to sit in the bin for a tiny, tiny amount of time. But as a pivot, turn jammer Raw Power is doing a wonderful job collecting points for breaking news. Bang, having another massive jam so far for the Firetails.
Squeals with the drawback after Disgrace knocking Raw Power out.
Bang, trying to come back around for one more pass if they can.
Hitting straight into Jackrabbit. Did they get past the hips in time?
I think so. If my eyes do not deceive me, there is being a late penalty issued. I'm not quite sure to whom. I think that is a high block was issued to Tenacious G from Breaking News. So there'll be one blocker apiece in the penalty bin to start. As we have, that is Kitty Kapow. Oh, Kitty Kaboom with lead for Breaking News. And that is Swoop working very, very hard up against Breaking News defense. Kitty's a very powerful jammer, so just like that. That was a massive hit, but we cannot wipe the smile off the face of
She just loves being a part of big hits.
I think to cop a one-on-one hit from Kitty and to live to tell the tale and have a big smile on your face is wonderful to see. So that was a 4 points and call by Kitty for Breaking News, keeping Swoop and the Firetail scoreless in that particular jam.
So again, we're still staying with that sort of like 50-point differential.
Just so we have a team timeout, if you could put the penalties up on the board, I just want to have another look here because it has been a few extra jammer penalties. Yeah, there we go. So it is a bit of a penalty heavy game this time. So this is what you're seeing up here for our live stream is Breaking News. Again, I won't go into specifics because we are in venue as well. So, but yeah, just what you can see there is a fair few being issued, and that is the Firetails there. Again, won't go into specifics for players, but there are a few with 4 apiece on both teams. We do have just under 14 minutes left of our game as we look to get back underway with Nuclear Force out. And I believe Bang back going like 2 jammer rotation. My goodness.
It's working for them at the moment.
They are. I don't know how they keep going. Nukes finding some space on the outside, grabbing lead.
There was a little bit of unfortunate blocking by your own teammate happening that held that off.
You know, that happens. That happens sometimes. Not ideal, but it happens.
It's one of those, oh no. Oh. Ooh.
So the call-off will stand as it's already been decided by the officials, but there is being a penalty issued. They have a forearms issued to Nuclear Force out, so they will have to start the next jam from the penalty bin, and a full 30-second power start will be given to Swoop from Firetails. Oh, sounds good in the mouth, doesn't it? It's good mouth feel.
Yeah, it's that pop.
Yeah.
That pop is beautiful.
A little official timeout here just to confirm a few bits, I believe, about the last jam, but we're all back in position as a 5-second timeout, the best kind.
Yeah.
And we're back on for our power start here for the Firetails. Swoop underway. And Breaking News sending out Vivian Oblivion, Kitty, Liza Minnelli, and Detention to try and negate as much of the impact of this power start as possible.
So a little bit of offense had been provided. They then went into a passive play, and now one person riding O, just trying to help them out.
Yeah, Furious D trying to provide some O there, but News able to recover as Nuclear Force Out has finished their penalty and returned from the bin. It is on track. And this is just locked down defense here by Breaking News. Oh, penalty confusion has allowed Swoop to come out for lead. Nuclear Force Out hot on their heels.
It was a very, very successful power jam kill.
It was. They killed that full 30 seconds. Oh. Just breaking through the arms there, unfortunately, just getting caught up, I think, on a wheel or with the momentum there. And Swoop calling it there. So all 4 points grabbed by Breaking News, and I believe that's 2 points just being awarded to Firetails there.
Ben heading out again for the Firetails, and Nels Bells returning to a track, which is great.
Alrighty, Nels Bells and Bang. I can't believe how much this. Oh, that's everyone down. It's dominoes. There's a whistle somewhere for someone, and Bang has managed to come out with lead. Nels not far behind.
That was very much the whistle confusion, just really helped Bang in that situation. People stop, Bang kept going.
Absolutely. With the amount of like big jams Bang has done today as well, like they're doing really well just to keep finding the go. Nell's finding just a slither of room to come through. Oh, and that, lovely jump.
And Nels is actually now on a power jam.
Yeah, way to get your power jam started with a nice little apex jump. And just using that beautiful edge work of her skates just to maneuver around skaters without touching.
The weaving is just gorgeous to watch.
The weaving's beautiful. And again, just managing just to weave around without being touched. This is what Nels does best, having the privilege of watching them on Team Australia last year.
You got to commentate some of their games, didn't you?
I did. I only had one of the Team Australia games. I believe I did a couple of the open gender team games. I was in the crowd when Nels did the now infamous apex jump against Team New Zealand for the bronze medal.
Amazing.
It was, you could not hear anybody in that room. The screaming was, but Nell's just finding a flow here, already on 28 points, and there's still 10 seconds left in this jam.
Now, did I hear correctly during the Juniors World Cup that someone from Team USA managed a 40-point jam or something along those lines?
I have heard the rumors. I unfortunately was not able there to witness in person. I think it was either 36 or 40, but it was like
Because the reason I'm
ridiculous.
bringing this up is Nels has just rocked up a 31-point jam.
It's got to be a record somewhere. That's insane. And she was just powering through it, and it's all through just the complete control of her footwork.
Like that's incredible seeing 31 points up there, especially since we don't have the 5-point jams anymore that we used to have.
No, there's no Grand Slams anymore. As Breaking News is sending out, that is Keza to jam and grabbing lead. As Swoop back up to jam again. Again, this is a very short jam rotation for Firetails at the moment. They're working super, super hard, and recycled there by Vivian Oblivion as Keza's back in for a scoring pass.
A few more people hitting the ground for the Firetails. Swoop getting through now in their initial. More people hitting the ground. Very much dominoes out there at the moment.
Yeah, it happens. You know, when you've got 7.5 minutes left, the legs are starting to leave you. As we've mentioned at the beginning of this game, we have multiple players who have played more than one game today. Again, I think MVP just in my heart for commitment to roller derby is the Mad Splatter for doing TRV, then Ballarat, and now Firetails.
Exactly.
Just a crazy addiction to derby as we all have. Yes. So
Team timeout for the Firetails.
team timeout. Ah, lovely camera work there. Big shout out to our streaming. Thanks, Jen.
Sports Connection Australia.
Sports Connection Australia, bringing it to you live and in 1080. Well, it depends on what settings you have on YouTube, I suppose. But look at this beautiful camera work here on this as you get a close-up view on a team timeout here for the Firetails. Bonnie with inspirational words, I'm sure.
Also doing a little bit of the let's focus on the breathing, just calm it down, let's get back into our gameplay, all that kind of jazz.
Absolutely. And it looks like the pod to go on here for breaking news, having a little chin wag in the middle. Little discussion on what the plan may be.
What does Jack want now?
To be fair, it's why I enjoy jamming, because I say I want this and I get what I want. So it works great for me. Oh, I'll take the back. I'll take the front. Oh, I want this kind of offense. Okay, whatever you want. Oh,
I don't want any office, just get out of my way.
yeah, sometimes that is it. Yeah. So it looks like we'll have Raw Power, Tenacious G, Darth Evader, and that is Intensive Claire unit up to block for breaking news with Jackrabbit jamming. Bang sent out to jam for the Firetails. And we'll have Squeals, Disgrace, Mad Splatter.
And Crunch Air.
And
Eva.
thank you, blocking for the Firetails.
I have to stop referring to Crunch by their in-person name, which I'm so used to calling them.
Ah, yes.
It's like, yeah, it takes me a moment just to go, oh no, I've got to say Crunch.
Yep, that's the one. Bang out with a very quick lead for the Firetails. Jack looking to stash the star as Bang through with 4 points. And a star pass there to Raw Power. That was nicely done. Yeah. Yes.
Beautiful.
Just lifting a skate, finding a little bit of room on the inside. That was beautifully done.
And another little just step through. We're all picking up some points there as well. Gotta love when a pivot scores.
Yeah, a bit of confusion in the middle there, but Raw Power through and scoring points as the pivot turn jammer, while Bang lives up to their name and just absolutely slams into that tripod from breaking news. Jackrabbit doing the absolute best to try and catch up the front.
Well, Carol sneaking through on the outside, not being touched.
Again, this is just massive jam after massive jam. Bang's already on 20 points for this particular effort. Ooh, a couple of big hits there. Raw Power getting drawn back by Mad Splatter. And Bang calls the jam there with more points awarded.
I believe 23 points.
23 points and a 15 points still for breaking news with Raw Power taking star pass, scoring some points there.
So News to Score has just drifted out a little bit more than what they had been sitting at the 50-point mark. They're now out to almost 80 points in front. So 282 to 203. Both teams are over the 200 mark, which is just fantastic.
As Nuclear Force out does just the most beautiful spin on the inside to grab lead for breaking news. Swoop back out again. I think they are on a 2-jammer rotation. My absolute respect to both Swoop and Bang. I mean, that is tough work. But Swoop is out on her initial. Nuclear Force out finding room for a toast off on the inside line for 4 points.
With our position in the venue, I can see that the mirrors are like, are you going to call this? Are you going to call this? I'm in position. I'm ready to do it.
I'm ready.
Just give me the call. Just give me the call.
Please. Looks like Keza Kapow back out to jam for breaking news. I love watching Kitty and Kez jam. Both of them are just so powerful.
They're one of those ones where it's very much a case of I don't want to be the blockers in front of them, but I love watching them.
I love watching them. Having
That's the
Yeah.
core strength of
Yeah.
both of them is just straight power on through.
Yep. So that's right. So bang up for the 2-jammer rotation. We have Keza Kapow.
Uh,
Oh. There, I believe
the jam
Jam.
has been called dead.
Jam has been called dead. Yes.
Yeah, so right at the last moment there, an extra fire tail took the track while there was two in the penalty box. So a little bit of miscommunication
Yeah.
as to what was going on. Normally in that situation, it is a return to track, but the refs just straight onto the calling the jam dead. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
There may be a penalty issued to the captain for that.
Yes.
Occasionally, when there is an incident of I'll get it.
Click official timeout. Okay. No, because I've been looking at it and silently screaming.
Yes, then this is a quick deliberation in the middle of our officials as we just determine what's going to happen with the incident there with too many skaters being on track. It could be a captain's penalty in some scenarios. It's up to the discretion of the referees.
So more often than not, as I said, in that situation being blockers, it's just return to bench.
Yep.
If it was a jammer, then it's more often than not the captain's penalty because it can actually impact the gameplay. However, being that this is a jam called dead, this is where they would look at whether or not the captain's penalty would apply.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just a fun time for our penalty trackers and yep, just all around like who's where, who's
The
what.
jam timer, if they need to
Oh,
fix up things in regards to how long's left in the game, all of that aspect,
Yeah.
there's a flow on. And
I was doing last game, just playing with my stopwatches. You know, it's a tough gig.
I will say, I really appreciated seeing you just matching up those on the visible scoreboard and everything. It was beautiful to see.
Thanks. They can let me keep doing jam timing because I enjoy yelling at people.
That's one of the descriptions for jam timer is, you know, if you want to roll where it's kind of a little bit easy in terms of you're focused on your watches and you just need to call at times and blow whistles at times. Nice and easy in regards to that. But you've got the visible person if something stuffs up, you're the one that's sad.
But it is wonderful to be as an NSO, as both a penalty lineup tracker and a jam timer. You do have the support of your head skating official in the middle with you. So take this as a tidbit from me. If you're not on roller skates at the moment, if it's not quite for you being a player, take up officiating. We have the non-skates or on-skates officials. We love them, we need them, and it's actually a lot of fun.
I absolutely adore being in the penalty box. It's one of the people looking after the chaos that there is. More often than not, I prefer actually penalty timing rather than penalty box manager. I don't mind penalty box manager, but penalty box timing, you've got the paperwork, you're all across it, but you're there going X, Y, Z, let's go. Who's got what?
I've grown quite fond of scorekeeping as well. You feel very in tune with your jam refs. I feel very official when I'm scorekeeping, counting points.
Scorekeeping is my other favorite
Yeah.
position. It's one of those ones where it's the problem with me. I have a lot of the ADHD tendency of just kind of losing track and zoning out and all that kind of stuff. So I start watching the game at times.
Yeah.
So I tend when it's big games to prefer commentating because then at least I could just talk about my favorite topic. And there's nothing in relation that's going to stuff up anyone's games.
Absolutely. So, full contact skating is not for everyone. I think it's for everyone, but if it's not for you, consider joining up at your local roller derby club as an official. There's always space for more commentators. If you want to yap about roller derby, please join us. It's a fun little activity. And then there's supporters and bench crew, and there's a whole range of places for you to fit in our community because it really is for everyone.
And roller derby can take you to some interesting places. Like as you mentioned, you got to commentate at the juniors world championship. We've got the various skaters and officials going across for the men's World Cup. We've got later on this year, South Seas hosting regionals. So first time second time, sorry, Oceania regionals. So it's first time being hosted in Victoria.
Yes.
So that's going to be teams from New Zealand and Australia playing off to see who's going to go over for the Lifter Championships.
Absolutely.
So there is so much derby that you can be a part of in various different ways without actually having to skate.
Absolutely. And, if you want to, road trip on the long weekend in June, why not come to Adelaide for the Great Southern Slam? It is going to be so much fun. We're going to have dozens of teams, and Chiko Rollers just quietly, shamelessly self-promoting. I'm really hoping to hit the grand final again this year. Fingers and toes.
As long as I don't need to have the situation of forfeiting a game.
Yeah,
that was such bad luck
happened.
last time.
Yeah.
That was just purely we did not have enough numbers to go ahead with that. But the fun adventure of that was having to work out who we were actually going to be playing because we got told the wrong information, even though we knew who we were supposed to be playing. So lots of running around and all that kind of stuff. But, being it was a Victorian team, it's just easy to go, hey, I just need to look for this person because I knew them.
I know them. Yep. All right. So I think we're about to get back underway. So we will have 2 players from Diamond Valley starting from the penalty bin, all 4 blockers for breaking news, and we'll have Keza jamming as well as Bang. Keza coming through with lead. Bang going for the overtake. Oh, that was a absolutely pinpoint perfect call off there. So 0 points apiece, double donuts sometimes colloquially called. But just to try and burn a bit of clock, I think was the strategy there by breaking news.
Yeah, because we now have just over 2 minutes remaining in this game.
It's gone so fast.
And then we get the very colourful matchup. The purple versus teal.
I've seen the minty teal as you were warming up and with our support crews here around and against the witches purple. I'm very excited for how colourful this game's going to be.
I just when we were deciding colours for the team, it's just like, oh, they picked all of my favourites.
Because this is a lot of the inspiration from Salty Beaches, if I'm not mistaken.
So very much a combination of the Salty Beaches kind of colours, but with a bit more of the touch of the darker blues from both Gippsland and South Sea.
Loving the logo too, actually, with the tentacles and the shell and the mountains in the background. It's very scenic. So
I feel very mermaid, which is great because I am a mermaid.
Yeah, I believe that with the hair and everything. You're looking fab. So we once more have a little official timeout, and while it may seem to our audience these timeouts are happening a lot, it is important for the referees to get these calls correct, to line up everything paperwork and electronically and confirm the safety and legality of our sport.
I also believe that was a little bit of a first aid timeout as well.
Yes. Thank you to Deadly Sports Class.
Waiting for one of the medics to be having attention on the game.
So Cutie Kaboom jamming now for breaking news, grabbing lead as Swoop back on track jamming for the Firetails. Oh, Kitty finding a bit of room on the inside, 4 points.
I was just very taken by Swoop's little toaster spin that they did to remain in bounds and upright. It was just almost slow motion, beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice. As Kitty in amongst the pack again, with 4 points. So that's 8 points so far on this jam. Swoop, stashing the star. Kitty comes back through again. Oh, and just moving inside, outside, all around. 4 more points.
So Furious D now with the star in their hand. So in this situation, they are eligible to get out of their initial pass by having it in hand. But if they were going through on a scoring pass and it was in their hand, they wouldn't pick up any points.
Yep. So high block fall there on one of the blockers from Firetails. I believe that's Gisela. Before Kitty called the jam there with 3 additional points.
So we are preempting what's about to happen here. When the mirrors are telling the bench crew to call an official review, we kind of start getting them. So Kilbo's gone out to listen in to find out what this call is in relation to. And in the meantime, we've also got the C yet, which is going, oh, come on, another stoppage. We've got to get out there on the map. We're cold. And during this official review, just having a quick look for those channel stream. So again, I'm a non-player venues with any form of penalty trouble. And then for the Firetails, a little bit more needing to be aware of that, being that there isn't very long left in this ban. It's not too bad at this stage. Raw power and crush register are having a little bit of fun out there. Well, this official is taking place. So this official has been called by breaking news. So whatever happens, this is most likely going to be the final jam once the game gets underway again. This is only 25 seconds left on the period clock. We are about to get the gossip from Kilbo.
Hello, I'm back with gossip. So, bit of confusion in the middle as trying to sort out what penalty and what player was for what. What breaking news are requesting is an additional penalty be issued to blocker 2222, who is currently sitting in the bin. They are looking for an insubordination penalty to be added to their serving time as they were issued a multiplayer penalty and continued to engage in play for a prolonged period of time, impeding the jammer, and are looking for an additional penalty to be issued because of that.
Okay.
So I believe the refs discussing, how long was there a response from that player? Did they hear the penalty? There is been, because we have the change in rules regarding the way penalties are called, there is some extra grace given to our to our players at the moment. But it's up to the discretion of the referees to determine how long that player remained in play for after the penalty was issued.
It's also one of those ones where it's really difficult in terms of, the skater actually being aware of it. So some some of the skaters within roller derby, I say some, that's a lot of the skaters within roller derby, sensory issues and like being able to process in regards to, oh, is this actually me or not? Some are hard of hearing. So there's a lot of like the auditory processing and all that kind of stuff that also needs to be taken into consideration. But for the most part, the refs are pretty good in regards to, we're going to give you a verbal cue at least 2 times before we then take any action. So that's one of the reasons why they'll be double checking how much grace period had been given.
All right, I'll just wait for Zarantula, our head official, to finish speaking to the relative benches. But it has been determined that because the referee that called the penalty was following the lead jammer, the penalty was not then repeated to the player.
Okay.
And there will not be issued any additional penalties, and Breaking News will lose their official review.
So I was saying before that this is our final jam as there was only 25 seconds left on the period clock. Jack Rabbit going out, picking up the lead very quickly.
Nice work there by Bang as well on the inside. I say that, unfortunately, did incur a forearms penalty as Jack Rabbit comes through with 4 more points of Breaking News. Bit of a tumble getting through on the inside there, but got up quickly enough to keep skating away before Firetail's defense could catch up to them.
I am just watching the communication from the bench to Jack Rabbit, and the bench is like, you're on a power jam. Do you want to call it? It's the end of the game. And Jack Rabbit's just like, no, I'm going to keep skating.
I think Jack just enjoys being on a power jam a bit too much. So, I mean, I do too. There it is. 12 points and called there. That's a wonderful final jam by Jack Rabbit, breaking the 300. Oh, not well. News finishing, waiting on the official score, just over 300 points. So the differential really leaked out over the last 15 minutes or so. But that's incredibly well done by both teams. I know Firetails were on that 2 jammer rotation for the last little bit. So
They were leading a few skaters by the end of it.
yeah, just we'll bring that up. Yeah, so we did fortunately have a few skaters be fouled out for the Firetails, hence the the high rotation of skaters on track. And that's the final penalties there for News. So that is the rolling whistle. We have our official score.
And that is News on 317 and taking out the win against the Firetails on 203.
So a really great game by both teams there. So please stay tuned for the upcoming game with the Southeast Alliance making its debut against the Witches of Eastwick. I have been Kilbo Baggins.
And I've been Judy Bench.
We'll see you next time.